If you're an entrepreneur and your business is not yet registered, if you're looking to grow your registered business, or you're an accomplished professional. Our Elevate program supports you with access to finance, access to markets, access to capacity building. Sign up now or refer a friend at ecobank.com/elevate. Elevate by Ecobank. A better way, a better Africa.
A better way to pay your UTG fees with instant proof of payment and real-time student portal update. Paying your University of the Gambia fees has never been easier or more convenient. With Ecobank, students, parents and guardians can pay UTG tuition and related fees through our secure digital banking channels such as Ecobank mobile app, Ecobank online and Ecobank Omni Lite. Once payment is completed, instant proof of payment is generated and the UTG student portal is updated in real time, allowing students to proceed immediately with registration, course selection, and clearance without unnecessary delays, while giving parents and guardians peace of mind that payments have been successfully processed. How to pay via the Ecobank mobile app. Open the Ecobank mobile app and navigate to the home screen. Select Pay Bill. Choose Pay a New Bill and select Schools from the category options. Select University of the Gambia. Select the specific product you are paying for. Enter your matriculation number and tap Continue. Validate your details. The system will display the payable amount. Press Continue to confirm the payment. An e-receipt is generated automatically as proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. How to pay via Ecobank Online or Omni Lite. Log in to Ecobank Online and Omni Lite using your credentials. Select the menu and choose Bill Payments. Choose Quick Bill Pay and select School from the category options. Select University of the Gambia. Select the specific product you are paying for. Enter your matriculation number and tap Continue. Validate your details. The system will display the payable amount. Press Continue to confirm the payment. An e-receipt is generated automatically as proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. Walk into any Ecobank branch or pay through our digital channels and enjoy instant proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. Ecobank, the Pan-African Bank.
Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Santa yàlla.
looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay nag doo ci yokk dara.
I know you strongly believe that by September, or have you brought it forward, Unite is going to be the biggest party in this country.
Well, we still believe by September we will be the biggest party in this country.
Not August, not even maybe end of July.
I mean, we are realistic people, and we have targets that we're building, and it's one of those targets that we have. And we see that it is attainable based on the numbers we have seen and based on, how things are forming up. And by September, inshallah, things will change in this country.
All right. Well, it's not a crime to be confident. But supposing the coalition talks, collapse for whatever reason, how does Unite intend to compete against what for now are bigger parties?
Unite sees itself as a big party.
No, it's a big party, yes. I'm saying bigger parties.
I don't think there are bigger parties in this country.
No, you are aiming to be the biggest
at this moment.
By the end of September.
Yes.
Which means that, there's some catching up to do.
Yes.
So let's just agree that there will be one or two bigger parties.
Yeah, well, based on, the NPP is the government of the day, so it won the last election, right? So we believe that...
you don't think the UDP is bigger than you at this point in time?
It is contentious. I come from Bakau. I've seen dynamics, and it's the dynamics all around the country. And secondly, we respect them. We respect their position. And
so we're talking about size now, which
yes.
is bigger.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's mutual respect.
Yes.
Just as you respect the UDP, I'm sure the UDP respects Unite.
Yes.
But we're talking in terms of size, membership.
Yeah.
A lot of people would say their membership is bigger than Unite at this point in time.
So I think we might be the only party that can tell you numbers on how many members they have. Most of the parties in this country base their numbers on electoral result. So it's very difficult to determine who's big and who's not. Like, this is why I'm saying it's difficult to say who's big and who's not. Because if for example, you ask me today, how many people do you have? I can tell you offhand, these are registered members of Unite. But granted, again, majority of Gambians, like I've continued to say, are not card-carrying members of political parties, right?
Even for Unite members? Not all your members are card-carrying members?
No. We do understand there are sympathizers. There are people that do not want to assign to any political party, but there are things they agree with in the way we do our politics, or what we have to offer, or based on what we have done. So they see themselves as part of Unite. So, but when it comes to card-carrying members, there are not a lot of parties in this country that can tell you that I've got this number of registered members within, my party structure. But notwithstanding, we believe that, like I've said, 2026, 2027, Unite will be government or be part of the next government. And that is something we are very, very strong on, based on what we have seen and based on numbers that we have, that are available to us.
Some Gambians are skeptical of new parties, not just new parties, even bringing a new business. Gambians like to do what we locally call watch hand. All right, they want to give it time. So how does Unite intend to, build trust and prove Unite is here to stay?
So, and I agree to that. And that's not just a Gambian phenomenon. I think it's a human phenomenon. Okay. Change is something very difficult. And this is why even divorce is difficult. Because you're changing your position, you're changing your beliefs most of the time, and you are diverting to something new. And people feel most of the time that, it's risky. But all great things in life began with a risk.
Yeah, no risk, no gain.
Yes, no risk, no gain. And this is the risk we took to build something as strong and credible that we have today. So this is why when we began, we just didn't begin with a party. We began with a movement. So when we started UMC, the idea was to build structures and to build trust and credibility around the country. And today I can boast of saying that Unite is one of the most structured political parties in this country. Currently we are building our village structures, because we had built ward all the way to the National Congress, and now we are building the village structures and sub-ward structures. Since then, a lot of people have ascribed and believed in our message. And secondly, the other hurdle that we were facing was the registration. But like I've mentioned, when you asked me what does it mean, I said it means credibility. It means foundation, and it means that people now see us as a functional institution. Now, a lot of people, since we were able to get our certificate, have said, okay, now this is something that I can be part of. And thirdly, Gambians want change. Gambians want to see a rebirth of our politics. Gambians want to see a new way of doing things and a new, governance position. Unite is offering that alternative from what we used to know. And majority of Gambians are now ascribing to that message. Granted, there are some who want to watch hand, but we believe by September, when everything is in place, when things are clearer, Gambians will indeed, buy our message, and will believe that Unite is the way forward, and they will be part of this great party.
And do you point to some of these grassroots structures as proof that if this was a party that only came to, attempt at becoming president in the first 5-year circle, and after failing they would disappear, well, look at our investment.
Oh, yes. And this is what I like saying. I like to say we have put in hard work. Even when we had that obstacle with the IEC, photos came out to say, well, look at them, they're now going to communities. Because we had already done that, but there was no need to show photos of it. So when our opponents were sharing those photos, I said, what they do not understand is now they have legitimized our process, that indeed these guys have gone out and have gotten these signatures. And that is what it has shown, that we have put in the hard work. We have set up structures in places that nobody envisioned, because people used to call them bases of other political parties. But we have put in, structures in every corner of this country. I've been to places in this country that I didn't used to go to, because, you are in an institution and they tell you this is a no-go area. Today, Unite doesn't have a no-go area. We go everywhere we feel there are Gambians that are going to listen to us. And we have built those, positions, and we have built those foundations in,
Did you encounter any hostilities along the way?
Not really. I think in the end, personally, I did not, or my team did not. And I believe it's all based on how you approach people.
True.
And for example, in Bakau, when we started, we visited all the Kabilos in Bakau and took kola nuts to them and introduced Unite to them. And we told them that we do not, it is out of the bunya that our party is based on, that we are coming to tell you that we have started a party. This is not to ask you to support us, but it's to inform you. And I believe once we did that, it opened up the doors. And it has been the same in all over the country. And Gambians have been very receptive of our message. And Uncle Peter, I like to say that we are not building an institution to win an election alone. We are building an institution to govern. And we are building an institution that will outlive us. We want to be remembered as the fathers and mothers of the new Gambia. Of the modern Gambia, of the Gambia that worked.
I thought there was a new Gambia under Adam Barrow.
Well, this is why even people who said opposing Barrow is opposing, going against, are now saying that, yes, probably we accept that was not the right thing, and we're here to be part of the change, because Barrow has disappointed everyone. And when you look at, how, 49% say that, living conditions have been, have been more difficult. You look at 76% rate the economy negatively. You look how 75% rate, cost of living terribly. I think it just tells you where the country is at the moment.
Whose numbers are these?
These are separate numbers, okay. where they also say that 42% identify rising price as the country's main problem. 68% rate government's work as terrible when it comes to the economy. And, hardship, they say, it's broad. So you look at crime and security. Every day people are getting murdered.
I was going to ask, what's the party's position, and some of the security challenges we're facing now. There's no running away from it.
Uncle Peter, I think it tells you everything you need to know when a government or a political party that's in government can buy almost 30 pickup trucks. But then the IGP comes up and tells you that we don't have equipment, we don't have vehicles. I think it tells you where the priority of that government lies. Now, people would say the government is different from the party itself. NPP is different from the government, but I disagree. NPP is the government of the day. And I think even if people say, okay, they've done fundraisings to raise those monies to buy those pickups for their parties, they could have done fundraisings for the government also. We are paying tax, but we can't live off tax. No country based on tax or a tax-based economy has been able to survive. There are either other ways. Yesterday we just heard they said they are going to add levies to raise money for security sector reform. Security sector reform that was promised in 2016. Barrow telling us that they are raising money to implement it tells you that it took them 9 years. And these are issues that are affecting us today. You look at the number of young people that are being deported on a daily basis. Because when these young people are coming, they're destitute.
And adding to the security
problems. Yes, they are frustrated, they're broken. And they come back to this country with nothing and having to start all over again. Most of these young people's parents had to sell the only land they had to be able to travel through the back way. They've traveled, now they look at themselves as failures and cannot be integrated back into the society. What happens? We have delinquency, and that is what is affecting the country today. Most of the issues and murders we've had in the past couple of days, 2 out of the 5 we had said these are returnees. Mm-hmm. What is the government doing to make sure that once these guys come in, we are providing a safety net for them? We are trying to reintegrate them back into the society. So these are issues that we continue to face. And I like to say every young Gambian is a potential migrant. And what are we doing to support these young people in this country? There are no jobs, like I said. There's drug everywhere. You talk about the hardest of drugs is available even here in Kololi. You just go next door. Everything you want.
There used to be a time when Kush was on everybody's lips. Apparently, we have taken care of Kush, haven't we?
We haven't, but this is the problem with the Gambia.
Is a stronger one on the market now and push Kush out of the way?
Yeah, but we are not even talking about the stronger one anymore. I think Gambia is a wave country. Gambia is a short memory country. We are a now people. And when something is affecting us now, we talk about it. But even look at the light, the constant electricity problem. Nobody's talking about it anymore. We are so conformed that we accept anything thrown at us. And we do not come up with solutions. We say, yala bahna. But yala do wacha mu change ko. So yala nyun la def sabab. So fok nyun nangu nyu pare pour se nakale nyo weche dekabi. Our neighbors fi Senegal, so dara hewe, they come out and also manifest. When you even look at the good job Gala is doing, for example, but look at the numbers now. Before, when the first days when Gala came out, everybody knew something was going on in the country. But look at the last 2-3 protests.
Again, so, as you say, we are a people of waves,
yes.
So Gala was a new wave, and everybody went with the flow.
Yeah, but now people know, So I think these are things that when I talk about the new Gambia, this is what we want to change. Gambians need to start demanding. And this is why, for example, when Talib was speaking in America, and he said he doesn't like when people talk about his record as mayor. Not that he didn't accomplish anything, but he's saying this, that I wish I could do more. Because personally, we do believe that creating safe spaces for young people, like the parks we have done, the Mbalit trucks, creating a library, we feel these are the basics that
the government thinks all, the Mbalit trucks are nothing but the rubbish they're supposed to be, moving around.
I don't understand.
I'm saying, I was just trying to have a point. The government of the day, Dr. Ismail Assisi, sits here every day, and rubbish is any achievement of the mayor.
We are not surprised by that. Small-minded people, discuss people. And we are looking at ideas. We are great-minded peoples. We discuss ideas, and this is why we have come up with solutions for our people. Now, sustaining these solutions are things that we are embarking on, and I am sure before the end of our tenure, people will see a greater improvement in the service that we have delivered. But going back to the point that I am trying to say, that what we have done, we feel these are basic. That any local government council should be doing these things. So we do not see them as, super projects. We wanted to do more. We wanted to build roads, but the government stopped us. We wanted to build housing, but the government stopped us. So we wanted to do so much more. But unfortunately, even with AfriCell, we had a 100 million plan to invest into Serekunda West. What happened? We couldn't, because someone up there calls AfriCell and tells them that if you do this, so I don't want to go into all of those things. Yeah,
really, that happened.
That did happen, because as the youth councillor of KMC and as a member of the sport committee, I know some of these things because I was part of the negotiations for these things. Unfortunately, there are people up there who are playing yo-yo with all of us. But it also tells you the reforms we need to do, especially when it comes to local government and when we talk about autonomy. Granted, we do understand local government is part of the is part of the country, but there needs to be some atom of autonomy for these mayors to be able to achieve what they want to do. I heard the Brikama Area Council chairman also say that he wants to do some development but cannot. So these are challenges that are across the board, and not just for opposition councils, but even the government councils. So generally, I do believe that when we talk about reforms, but our laws also need to be reformed. I think policy is where it all starts. When you have good policy, then you can also implement.
How is he juggling, his work as mayor and his role as a Unite leader? Because a lot of people could understand when Dr. Cisse sat there and said that they had mortgaged, his responsibilities at KMC, at the expense of. He's pursuing his presidential ambitions at the expense of his work as mayor.
I wouldn't be surprised that Dr. Cisse would say that, because Dr. Cisse's president, who he defends every day, came out to say that when I leave NPP or government, my party will crumble. Talib Bensouda has built an institution at KMC. Talib Bensouda doesn't need to be in KMC for KMC to function and work. We have a deputy mayor, we have committees that are functional, we have councillors who are there to do the work. But we understand Dr. Cisse comes from a broken system. logistic comes from a system that if the leader isn't there, the system doesn't. In fact, the leader is there every day, and the system doesn't work anyway. So imagine if the leader is not there. But at KMC, nobody will come there and say that I went to KMC today and so wasn't functional. So we are proud of that. In the last 8 years, we have been able to build something. And Peter, and I think it's unfortunate that people that are being paid taxpayers' money are more focused on discussing people than discussing solutions to the problems of Gambians. And I've heard, because I listen to your program a lot, and especially when we talk about issues of someone came from a privileged background and so. This is an individual whose father was a high-ranking government official. He went to a private boarding school in Sierra Leone. He went to Europe when he was young. Who is more privileged than him? Today he lives in Salaji. His children go to an international school. He drives a V8 or a V12 vehicle. Is funded by Gambian taxpayers. Is one person in the 1% of the 1% of this country. And he has the effrontery to tell us that some other people are privileged.
This is Dr. Cisse.
This is Dr. Cisse. For him to sit here and say that Mom Dafdan used Father Alumasa for diwlin. That is the failure of his father, because his father was a higher-ranking government official. This is why we know him as Cisse Forrest. So I think doctor needs to ask questions to himself and not say that I did so and so another person should suffer. Mom tay mu nge liggéey because dafa buga domam bi boom suffer comme mom num suffer. Man sa lol la buga, yow sa lol nga buga. And we need to, this is how we build countries. Suñ generation su liggéeyee nga gis beneen generation du sona comme ñun. Ñooñu tamit ñu na mun a build on that. Moo tax sa ñu ne government doo ko mun a def yëpp. So moom su toogee fii mu ne dafa attaque keneen, kon de moom war nañ ko laajte questions. Because moom dem na private school, not even in this country, but in Sierra Leone. Na génna mu wax ne loolu amut.
He'll have the
exactly. So ma jógee foofu nga dem Europe at an early age. Kan moo mun a afford loolu at the time? So I think war nañoo bàyyi naxaate bi. Te man fii su nekkee ne ñu ne ñit dafa jógee si privilege background, ñun yëpp dañ bëgg a jógee privilege background. Kenn bëggut a sona. Te man I believe ne su ñu jógee privilege background, if Talib comes from a privileged background, and he comes and says that I want to impact this country, I think he wants to create the opportunity he grew up in for other children also. Because we have seen how terrible the country is in. Reyante Bunyowa and all of these problems we're facing today is because kan nga gis si ñi nga xamne ñoo nekk di reyante ki nga xamne dafa jóge from a good background. All of us, ñun suñ nit ñi la, the poor people, ñi nga xamne ñu ngi sona, are destitute, ñooñu la seen doom yi nekk si biti di use drugs di reyante. We want to create an opportunity where children in Gambia will be safe and prosperity rek moo mun a joxe loolu. So I think he needs to focus on those.
As I do with all political leaders who come here. Well, that's your camera. We'll let you connect with the people for the final 2 minutes.
I'm just saying a big thank you to the media and to you, Uncle Peter. It's always an opportunity for us to come and discuss with the Gambian people. I like to see myself as a marketer. I'm selling a product, and that product is Unite. And we have always said that we are a people of the people. We come from the communities that they come from. I come from Bakau. It's a coastal town. I know the issues that are affecting the people and the young people of Bakau. Honorable Sanyang comes from Kiang. He knows the problems that are affecting the people of Kiang. Nene Frida comes from the Manjago community. She knows the problems that are affecting the Manjago community. You talk about Ibrahim Adiba.
Just say Latrikuna.
Well, yeah, and also Tanene. Ibrahim Adiba comes from Badibu. He knows what is affecting the Badibu. And Dembo Kante and everyone the same. What we have set out to do is to create an alternative for the Gambian people. What we are here to do is to create the future we want for the children of this country. Now, like I like to say, do we have all the answers? No. And I will not say anything here that has never been said before. And I like to be honest with people. Politicians are not going to be the people that will change your destiny for you. All we are going to do is direct. It is the Gambian people that will change their own destiny for themselves. And what we have said at Unite is that we want us to come together as a people and forge a new path for this country. That since 1965, if you look back, what have we been able to achieve? And these are some of the things that we have to continue asking ourselves. Granted, people will say where we were and where we are isn't the same. But when you look at our neighboring countries and when you look at other countries and where they were, you look at, the Asian tigers, you look at, the Middle East. 50 years ago, we were at par with most of them. But where are they today? And these are some of the things that has continued to be questions that we want answers to. We are asking Gambian people to give us an opportunity. We're asking Gambian people that we will build the future we want together. And we believe that what we have set out to do is attainable and achievable. Like we have said, our colors are red, white, and blue. The red represents patriotism. We love this country like every Gambian does. And we believe that through patriotic and nationalistic positions, we will be able to move this country forward. But we believe that this cannot be achieved without unity, and this is what the white in our colors represent. We believe that we must unite as a country, we must unite as a people, and see each other as equals. And we believe that through integrity is how we can, get this done. And this is what the blue in our color represents. Like I mentioned, Unite sees itself as a uniting umbrella of all Gambians. And this is why even like I said, in our symbol, every color knot in those hands represents an ethnic group in the Gambia. And we are holding the Gambia to, forward. But like I mentioned, no politician will be able to change this country if the people are not ready to change it. And thank you very much. And thank you.
If you're an entrepreneur and your business is not yet registered, if you're looking to grow your registered business, or you're an accomplished professional, our Elevate program supports you with access to finance, access to markets, access to capacity building. Sign up now or refer a friend at ecobank.com/elevate. Elevate by Ecobank. A better way, a better Africa.
A better way to pay your UTG fees with instant proof of payment and real-time student portal update. Paying your University of the Gambia fees has never been easier or more convenient. With Ecobank, students, parents and guardians can pay UTG tuition and related fees through our secure digital banking channels such as Ecobank mobile app, Ecobank online and Ecobank Omni Lite. Once payment is completed, instant proof of payment is generated and the UTG student portal is updated in real time, allowing students to proceed immediately with registration, course selection, and clearance without unnecessary delays, while giving parents and guardians peace of mind that payments have been successfully processed. How to pay via the Ecobank mobile app. Open the Ecobank mobile app and navigate to the home screen. Select Pay Bill. Choose Pay a New Bill and select Schools from the category options. Select University of the Gambia. Select the specific product you are paying for. Enter your matriculation number and tap Continue. Validate your details. The system will display the payable amount. Press Continue to confirm the payment. An e-receipt is generated automatically as proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. How to pay via Ecobank Online or Omni Lite. Log in to Ecobank Online and Omni Lite using your credentials. Select the menu and choose Bill Payments. Choose Quick Bill Pay and select School from the category options. Select University of the Gambia. Select the specific product you are paying for. Enter your matriculation number and tap Continue. Validate your details. The system will display the payable amount. Press Continue to confirm the payment. An e-receipt is generated automatically as proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. Walk into any Ecobank branch or pay through our digital channels and enjoy instant proof of payment with real-time updates on the student portal. Ecobank, the Pan-African Bank.
Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
sant yàlla looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay nag doo ci yokku dara.
Scan to pay more, no problem. 0%